Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Betty, this is my channel The Wildflower Hippie, and today I'm going to talk about the 10 books I want to read this summer. So I know we're already halfway through July, but the next upcoming weeks I have a lot of time to read, and that is basically my plan for this summer, reading. But it's a lot of fun and I really enjoy reading. So yes, this list contains 10 books I still want to read this summer. I have my laptop here with me because these are all 10 books that other people recommended to me and I have absolutely no idea what the books are about. Fun fact, I already bought six of 7 of them. So yeah, hopefully I will like them. But these are all books that other people recommended to me. So the first book is Accidentally Engaged by Farah Heron, and I'm really excited for this book, to read this book, because the cover looks like so beautiful. And this was also one of the books I already bought. I have my laptop here because I'm going to read the summary from the internet, because I have absolutely no idea what the book is about. But yeah, this book is about Rina. When it comes to bread, Rina Manji knows exactly what she is doing. She treats her pseudo daughters like children, but when it comes to Rina's actual family and their constant meddling in her life, well, that recipe always ends in a disaster. Now Rina's parents have found her yet another potential good Muslim husband. He's the perfect mouth-watering temptation, completely ruined by the unwelcome side dish of parental interference. Rina refuses to marry anyone who works for her father. She won't be attracted to Nadim's sweet charm or gorgeous lopsided smile. That is until the baking opportunity of a lifetime presents itself, a couple's cooking competition with the prize of her dreams. Rina will do anything to win, even asking Nadim to pretend they are engaged. But when it comes to love, baking your bread doesn't always mean you get to eat it too. So this book sounds really cute and I can't wait to read this. I'm still reading The Paris Connection, but after that I will start with this one. The next one is The X Talk by Rachel Lynn Solomon. This book came out in January this year, and it is about Shay. Shay Goldstein has been a producer at her Seattle public radio station for nearly a decade, and she can't imagine working anywhere else. But lately it's been a constant clash between her and her newest colleague, Dominic Yun, who's fresh off a journalism master's program and convinced he knows everything about the public radio. When the struggling station needs a new concept, Shay proposes a show that her boss greenlights with excitement. On the X Talk, two exes will deliver relationship advice live on air. Their boss decides Shay and Dominic are perfect co-hosts, given how much they already despise each other. Neither loves the idea of lying to listeners, but is this or unemployment? The audience gets invested fast, and it's not long before the X Talk becomes a must-listen in Seattle and climbs podcast charts. As the show gets bigger, so does their deception, especially when Shay and Dominic start to fall for each other in an industry that values truth. Getting caught could mean the end of more than just their careers. So this book is one of those books that Bookstagram recommended to me. I saw it everywhere on Bookstagram and I can't wait to read it. So the next one is One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. Her last name is like very difficult to pronounce for me. Anyway, she's the author of Red, White and Royal Blue. I read that one. I'm not really sure if I really loved that book, but I liked it. So it was time to try this one and see if I will like this more than the other one. It's about August. For cynical 23-year-old August, moving to New York City is supposed to prove her right. That things like magic and cinematic love stories don't exist. And the only smart way to go through life is alone. She can't imagine how waiting tables at a 24-hour pancake diner and moving in with too many weird roommates could possibly change that. And there's certainly no chance of her subway commute being anything more than a daily trudge through boredom and electrical failures. But then there's this gorgeous girl on the train. Jane, dazzling, charming, mysterious, and possibly Jane. Jane with her rough edges and swoopy hair and soft smile, showing up in leather jacket to save August's day when she needed the most. August's subway crash becomes the best part of her day. But pretty soon she discovers there's one big problem. Jane doesn't look like an old school punk rocker, she literally displaced in time from the 1970s. And August is going to have to use everything she tried to live in her own past to help her. Maybe it's time to start believing in some things after all. So I'm very excited. The cover looks so beautiful. I mean, look at that. So yeah, I'm also very excited to read this one. The next one is And Now You're Back by Jamansel. So Jamansel is like super popular here in the Netherlands, and I've read every single book written by her. She's amazing. So this book is about Didi and Shay. One magical night in Venice, Didi fell in love, but it ended. He left without even saying goodbye. Now 13 years on, Shay Mason is back. The old spark is still there, but Didi is determined to ignore it. As a manager of a stunning Cotswold hotel, she is happy at last, and soon to be married. Anyway, Shay isn't staying. He has made a promise to his father he is going to keep it, and then he will be gone. But Shay's return stirs up long-forgotten emotions, and the scandal that led him to leave raises its head once again. It is time for buried secrets to come to light, and it seems that this was someone's intention all along. So I honestly can't wait to read this. Yeah, Jill Mansell is an incredible author, and her books are amazing. The next one is The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. So Christina Lauren also wrote The Unhoneymooners, and that is probably one of my favorite books. I really love that one. I'm not really sure what this book is about, but we are going to find out now. Jess Davis is a numbers genius, but when it comes to love, she had to accept there is no magic formula. Juggling a career with raising her daughter, it is not surprising that her love life is non-existent. When yet another date ends in disaster, she prepared to give up on love for good. But then she hears about a Genetic Ally, a buzzing new matchmaking company that claims to find you the one using DNA equation. Suddenly love doesn't seem quite so far out of reach, until her test shows an unheard of 98 compatibility with Genetic Ally's founder, Dr. River Pena. Jess already knows Dr. Pena, and this man is 100% not her soulmate. Yet as the pair are dragged from one event to the next as the ultimate diamond pairing that could make a Genetic Ally a fortune, Jess begins to realize that there might be more to the scientists and to the science behind a soulmate than she thought. So honestly, this book sounds like the Netflix series. I'm not really sure what the series was called, but it came out this year, and yeah, it sounds very familiar. Can't wait to read it. I think it will be different than the series, because that series is based on a different book. But yes, I honestly can't wait to find out if this is something more for me, because I didn't really enjoy watching that Netflix series. But yeah, we'll find out. And the award for the most pretty cover goes to You and Me on Vacation by Emily Henry. I mean, look at that cover. I mean, it's so beautiful. But yes, I saw this book everywhere on Bookstagram, probably because the book cover is so pretty. But but of course it is about the inside the story. So let's find out what the book is about. 12 summers ago, Poppy and Alex meet. They hate each other and are pretty confident they will never speak again. 11 summers ago, they forced to share a ride home from college, and by the end of it, a friendship is formed and a pact every year one vacation together. 10 summers ago, Alex discovers his fear of flying on the way to Vancouver. Poppy holds his hand the whole way. Oh. 7 summers ago, they get far too drunk and narrowly avoid getting matching tattoos in New Orleans. 2 summers ago, it all goes wrong. This summer, Poppy asks Alex to join her on one last trip, a trip that will determine the rest of their lives. It sounds really, really cute. Oh man, I can't wait to read it. It sounds really amazing. But yes, the cover is pretty, it sounds amazing. I can't wait to read it. The next 3 books are basically a book series. The thing is, I bought book 2 and 3, but the first book was not available in the Dutch web shop. Hopefully it will be available very soon, because I can't start reading the series without reading the first one. Anyway, it is the Brown Sisters book series written by Talia Hibbert. The first one is Get Alive, Chloe Brown. So Chloe Brown is chronically ill computer geek with a goal, a plan and a list. After almost but not quite dying, she has come up with a list of directives to help her get alive. Enjoy a drunken night out, ride a motorbike, go camping, have meaningless but thoroughly enjoyable sex, travel the world with nothing but hand luggage, and do something bad. But it's not easy being bad, even when you have written out step-by-step guidelines. What Chloe needs is a teacher, and she knows the man for the job. Redford, also Red, Morgan, with tattoos and a motorbike. Red is the perfect helper in a mission to rebel. But as they spend more time together, Chloe realizes there's more to him than his tough exterior implies. Soon she is left wanting more from him than she ever expected. Maybe there's more to life than her list ever imagines. So this is the first book in the Brown Sisters book series. It sounds really cute and amazing. I think it's amazing that someone decided to write about chronically ill people, because I haven't read a single book about that topic. I mean, I've read about autism, like the Rosie Project, but other than that, nothing much basically. So yes, I can't wait to read this. The next book in the Brown Sisters series is about Dani, and that book is called Take a Hint, Dani Brown. Danica Brown knows what she wants: professional success, academic renewal, and an occasional roll in the hay to relive all the career-driven tension. But romance? Been there, done that, burned the t-shirt. So Dani asks the universe for the perfect friends with benefits. When brooding security guard Savir Ansari rescues her from a workplace fire drill gone wrong, it is an obvious sign. PhD students Dani and ex-rugby player Zev are destined to sleep together, but before she can explain that fact, a video of the heroic rescue goes viral. Now half the internet is shipping Dr. Rugby, and Zev is begging Dani to play along. Dani's plan is simple: fake a relationship in public, seduce Zev behind the scenes, but grumpy Zev is secretly a romantic, and he is determined to corrupt Dani's stone-cold realism. With every fake date and midnight meeting, Dani's easy lay becomes more complex than her thesis. Has her wish backfired? So this is the other brown sister, and she is completely different, but she has her own story, and I think it's amazing. Sounds really interesting. I have to admit the first book sounds more interesting, but we'll find out which one I will like the most at the end. But yes, very excited to read this whole series. And the last book so far in this series is Act Your Age, Eve Brown. And that book came out in March this year. Eve Brown is a certified hot mess. No matter how hard she strives to do right, her life always goes horribly wrong. So she has given up trying. But when a personal brand of chaos ruins a wedding, her parents draw the line. It's time for Eve to grow up and prove herself, even though she's not entirely sure how. Jacob Wayne is always in control. The uptight B&B owner expects nothing less than perfection from his employees. So when a purple-haired tornado of woman applies for his open chef position, he tells her the brutal truth. Not a chance in hell. Then she hits him with her car, supposedly by accident. Okay, that sounds really funny. Now his arm is broken, his B&B is understaffed, and the dangerously unpredictable Eve is fluttering around, trying to help. Before long, she is infiltrated in his work, his kitchen, and his spare room. Sunny, chaotic Eve is his natural-born nemesis. But the longer these two enemies spend in close quarters, the more their animosity turns into something else. Okay, this book sounds really, really funny because I was already laughing, and that was just the summary. Maybe this one will be my favorite one. Who knows? Yes, I'm very excited to read all of these books, but there's one book left, and that book is a special one because recently an author, probably one of my favorite authors, Jo Watson, asked me if I wanted to read her new book. And that's amazing. I mean, first of all, I was like screaming and I was like very excited. So her new book by Jo Watson is coming out 21st of September, so in a few months. Normally Jo Watson writes a lot of adult books, like romance, but this time she decided to write a more young adult one. It's called Big Bones, and this book is about Laurie, and I'm going to read the summary from Goodreads right now. I will leave the link in the description box for you so you can find all of these books. But Big Bones is about Laurie, as I said, and Laurie Palmer is the new girl at Baywater High, where students prize glossy hair, beach bodies as cool spirit above else. She misses her old school, where her talent as an artist carried more weight than she does, and longs for her old family life before her parents got divorced and her mom reinvented herself. So Laurie decides that the only way to survive the rest of the year is to blend into the background, but her plans go bad when she discovers the most popular and the hottest guy at Bayswater High. Jake is a volunteer at her brother's school. When her brother befriends Jake's sister, Laurie is suddenly thrust into his unfamiliar and exhilarating world of water polo parties and stargazing. But with her relationship with her mother deteriorating, old anxieties resurface, and Laurie finds a new artistic release that unknowingly ignites a powerful movement. When the authorities start asking questions, Laurie realized that finding her voice might have gotten her into a world of trouble. But sometimes standing up for what you believe is as important as standing up for yourself. So again, I really love Jo Watson. She is probably one of my favorite authors of all time. I've read so many books written by her this year already. So yes, of course I said yes to this because yes, I want to read more of her and this book, and can't wait to read it. Yes, very excited. So, but this book doesn't come out before the 21st of September. But yes, these are the 10 books I want to read this summer. I'm going to write reviews about it and put it on my blog. I will leave the link in the description box. Maybe I'm going to make other videos about these books in the future, I don't know. But yes, I'm very excited to read these books. Let me know what books you want to read this summer, and thank you for watching. If you like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.